Andrew's given me 3 minutes, but I tell you, the 3 minutes doesn't start yet. I've got some other comments that I'd like to make. Firstly, to thank people like Andrew, Paul, Becky, Ross and Josh and these guys. They've all put a lot of themselves, and Genevieve, all put a lot of themselves into today and their continuing efforts here. And I think it wouldn't be the same without that personal input. So I would say thank you on all our behalf. Now Ruby is off to Foundation for Economic Education, and my joy is seeing your dates for being there. My joy is here that my wife Jenny and I will be visiting Atlanta on the same time you're there, so we'll see you there. My sorrow is that I'll miss seeing Tom in the Lion Rock Institute, because we'll miss out by a couple of days on our trip around. And I see 3 guys heading off to London to the Institute of Economic Affairs. Now I'm going to admit I went to a wedding in Ukraine via London last year, and I left without a white shirt or without a jacket, and I had to borrow a white shirt and a jacket from my son-in-law in London, and you may be my opportunity to now that looks a bit bulky, but it under a bit of pressure it folds completely flat. And this is the interesting thing is that you're going to meet my daughter Sarah, who is one of our Mancal Advisory Council members. On the page 6 of our the musings that you'll get a copy of, we've got 12 wonderful Advisory Council members, all in different parts of the world. Actually, 2 of them are here today, Andrew and Ashley. But these people in Dubai, London, Geneva, Ukraine, all over around the place, wherever you visit these places, these people are there to help you, answer any questions or point you in the right direction. Fabulous people. So my daughter Sarah will meet the 3 of you in London with her wonderful husband James Baston, and this is his his kit, if you don't mind. And there's a compliment. There's a courier fee, and the courier fee is you get this wonderful "I Love Capitalism" T-shirt. Thank you so much. That's a nice way of asking. I've got some other comments that came out of today's discussion. Here we are. One thing I was going to mention about CVs, and I noticed there's an inverse relationship between the more educated a person gets, the worse their CV gets. Now, I don't think I've got time to talk about that, but if we have a chance, we'll talk about it later. And different cultures. I could tell you a habit that Australians have when they visit Asian countries, and if they do that, it will guarantee the people from those countries will never do business with you. It's just some little things that we think is normal, they think it's completely abnormal. So we could cover that if we get time. The other thing is branding. Be proud of branding yourself when you come back on your Facebook and your LinkedIn. You're a Mancal scholar. Don't say you're a Lion Rock scholar or an Atlas scholar or Atlas intern. You're a Mancal scholar interning at Atlas or IEA or wherever you are. But put that brand up the front, because it does help you when people read your CVs later. They'll say, hey, these people are a little bit different. It's that difference that will make a lot of difference to your life too.
If I could just insert there, on LinkedIn we have a Mancal company page, and if you actually link in your profile to that company page, it'll come up when people search Mancal. And I've got jobs because I was a former Mancal scholar, and they found me through that way. So small things, but advertise yourself the right way and can take you really far.
So okay, thanks Paul. My 3 minutes starts now. Somebody sent me an email, or it was on a LinkedIn message earlier this year saying, hey, we want you to tell us exactly what you had in mind when you set up the Mancal Foundation. Was it to get people interested in politics? And my response was it was exactly the opposite. It was to get people more interested in themselves and their own ability to solve problems rather than going to the government to solve their problems, which usually creates more problems than it ever solves. So that was the idea. So we really at Mancal we're interested in change, but we're interested. We want you to be facilitators of change. We want the change to be meaningful. There's all sorts of change. Talking about change reminds me of an admiral of a ship some years ago. He was inspecting the under the deck facilities on one of the ships. He was accompanied by the captain. And he said to the captain, he said, "This is dreadful." He said, "Under the deck," he said, "the whole place stinks. That smell is appalling. I mean, do something about it. What? I mean, don't these guys ever change their underpants? I mean, the smell is appalling." Anyway, the admiral went off on his way. The captain went down under the deck and called the crew together. He had to issue some very explicit instructions on how to solve this problem. So he said, "Well, Jones, you change yours with Brown, and Brown change yours with Fred, and change your underpants quickly." And of course, that's change, but it's superficial change and it doesn't solve any problems. People think it's change when we change one bunch of politicians for another bunch of politicians, but it doesn't change much because the bureaucracy remains there forever, so it's not meaningful change. So get down into the core. Politically, ask questions about when you see the politicians spending your hard-earned money unwisely. I mean, look around in Western Australia. We run the risk of having more football fields than we've got football teams. You know, just because it's a populist thing to do. Look at the business, the business community. It's worse than the political one. We see corporate executives giving away their shareholders' money on all sorts of benevolent social causes, so they, the executives themselves, can pose as philanthropists. What? With somebody else's money? You know, there's something unbelievable about the underlying principles of this. Furthermore, what about the investment banks when they produced all those derivatives and sold them off all around the world? Absolute criminal activity. Since then, they've been fined billions of dollars as a result of that. Who paid the fines? The shareholders. The executives that were part of this concoction, they've still got their jobs, they're still getting their bonuses. How could they all get away with this? Because people generally were unaware of the scale, the enormity of this confidence trick that was being played. So be thought leaders, dig deeper into these issues. So that's what we're talking about, change. There's a lot of things that need to be changed. What got me interested in the power of these short-term internships in the very first place? Well, I was lucky enough to be selected way back when I was about your age by the Prince Philip, the Duke of Edinburgh Study Conference in 1968. And Prince Philip himself trained us on how to ask questions, how to go out into the community and ask questions of community leaders and ordinary people. Just keep asking questions until you got the answers. You get inside the minds of people. And the first question you ask doesn't get anywhere. The second question you ask, then when you see people starting to break down and really tell you what's on their mind, then you realise you're starting to ask the right questions. Now, all that combined with this understanding of the free market and its ability to solve complex questions and problems has made all the difference to my life, business-wise and personally. And I hope that as you embark on your adventures going out to these fantastic places, I hope you have some lifelong, lasting benefits to flow from this. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Lunch, guys.
Back to work.
Good work, right? I like you, Zoe. You took the time. Yes, yeah. I'm going to do that.